Welcome to the ChildPlus Professional Development module training. Today we will be reviewing the professional development module on ChildPlus, navigating from the desktop version to the online version. So before, on the ChildPlus desktop version, which is what we're looking at here, professional development used to exist within the management tab. If we see here, we have that professional development option. We click on trainings. It'll tell us that professional development has been enhanced and it is now located in Child Plus Online. If you click OK, this will take you directly to Child Plus Online. And this is where the Child Plus Professional Development module actually exists. So that is one way to get to this module by opening up your desktop and clicking through to go to the professional development module, or you could do like I did here. I just have the actual link saved to my bookmarks, which is something that you can do now using the Child Plus online version. So anything that you really use online, you can save as a link, as a bookmark, and you will go directly there whenever you click on it. So let me give you that example. I'm going to click here on the Child Plus PD, and it takes me directly to all of the trainings. From here, whenever I want to enter a training, the first thing I will do is click on this search bar here, and I will enter the program year that we are in. So we are in the 2024-2025 program year, and I'm going to search all of the trainings that we have related to this program year. Now, sometimes you may find that you're hosting a training that you don't find a name for. For example, you may be having a universal precautions training that is part of the health and safety training. So you would enter that into the health and safety trainings. And if you click on that actual topic, you'll be able to see what is considered a health and safety training. So this is actually the performance standard from the Head Start performance standards and the health and safety trainings that fall under health and safety. So it could be um, building premise safety, shaken baby syndrome, abusive head trauma trainings, emergency preparedness trainings, first aid and CPR trainings, including diapering, fire safety extinguisher use, universal precautions, COVID-19 precautions. So, for example, we don't have specifically a COVID-19 training topic in the system. However, we have this health and safety training. So the COVID-19 training goes within the health and safety training. You may have that as well for education trainings. If you're doing any other trainings that fall within a training, you would enter that there. Now, it is best practice to for the host to enter the trainings. So if you're hosting a training, it is best practice for you to enter your own training because you should have that sign-in sheet and you should also have the training design or PowerPoint that was used to present that training. The people who attend the trainings should not have to enter their own trainings, and we really want to avoid that because then that creates duplicates. So if you're going in to enter a training and then your staff person also goes in to enter a training, we may be having duplicates there. And to delete anything from this area, you need to contact one of the ChildPlus administrators and request deletion. Otherwise, you will not be able to delete or remove anything you add. So now let's move on to actually adding trainees to a training. We're going to add, for this example, trainees into the Child Plus Professional Development module training. And again, as it was noted before, on the details page, which is the first page that pops up when you open up a training, you do not make any changes. So do not make any changes to this details page. And then it has a small description of what this training is about. We're going to move on here to the attendees portion. Now, here in the attendees part, this is where we're going to actually enter the details of our own training and who went to our training. You can also use this section to look up who has attended trainings. So, for example, if you would like to know who attended your January trainings, you can look up by the date. Any date that comes up here means that there is a record for it. So, for example, if you're looking for any August 7th trainings and you see that there's no 7th, that means that there were no trainings entered for that day. You also have the option to search by name. So, for example, if I look myself up, I went to this training on October 25th of last year. So that's something that's really neat about this attendee section. You can look that up. Now, to actually add an attendee, we're going to click on Add Attendees. Now, this page opens up, which is very, very similar to the details page. Here, we're going to customize these options for our training. So today our training took place, and this took place off-site via Zoom, instructor-led Child Plus training, 1 hour long. Now, in the notes section, you want to give a brief description of what you covered in your training, as well as leave some space for adding staff that are not in the system yet. So you may be onboarding staff and you may be giving them their training already, but they do not have an account completed in Child Plus. We still want to have at least on the notes a record that they were part of this training as well. So let's add a brief description of this training. Review of Child Plus Professional Development module. How to add attendees, attachments, and view reports. Staff that attended but do not have a child plus profile. Okay, so now here is where you begin selecting staff. You can filter in this area as well. So for example, if you're doing a training to all of the center directors at your site, here we have selected Easter seals, then it'll be a lot easier to just select like that. If you are doing a training for all of your, um, let's say, all of your caseworkers and case managers in the early Head Start program. You can do that like that. There's many ways to filter here so that it'll make it easier for you to find who it is that you're looking for, or if you just want to look up based on your site. And that way it minimizes this long staff list. As you can see, it's 19 pages long. It has over 1,800 staff. So it becomes a lot, right? And in order for you to reduce this amount that you see, you can use these filters. Of course, you can also use the search bar. So for example, I'm going to look myself up and you will be able to find your staff person like that. In the search bar, you can search by first name, last name, position, program, agency, site. So there's a lot of options here you can put. So for example, if I want to see all of the staff from Overtown, you can look up like that and it'll give you a full list as well. If you want to look up all the staff in social services, You can also do that and it'll show up all of your staff and social services. So there's many ways to filter in this section so that you can get your list. But here I'm just going to put that and then I'm going to act as if I myself don't have an account as well so you guys can see what it'll look like when we go back. So I'm going to go back to this attendee notes. I'm going to edit existing notes and I'm going to add my one staff that does not have an account in ChildPlus. And I'm going to add the name of the agency because, again, we have staff with multiple names. This person doesn't have an account, and we just want to know that we're tracking them correctly. Okay, so once I have added all of my notes, I have selected all of my staff, entered my dates, the time of my training, I can go ahead and click OK. And you will see that it is saved here now. I have a record created. If I run a report on this training, I will be able to find that this person attended this training. And if I click on it, I'll be able to see information about the notes and the notes that say who went to this training. Again, I do want to note that you do not have access to delete anything in this section. If you made a mistake, you clicked on someone by accident, please reach out to one of the ChildPlus administrators. Let one of us know and we will delete that as soon as we can. Moving on to attachments. To add attachments, we're going to click on that last attachment tab, and we're going to click on the Add Attachment button. We'll select the file, which is our sign-in sheet in this case, and then we're going to select the attachment type here. We're going to type in sign-in sheet. We're going to use this one that is specifically for the PD module. And in this description section, we are going to add the agency name, followed by the training name, followed by the date. Now we do this because unfortunately the attachment section and the attendee section of this module do not link to each other. So even though you upload an attachment, unless you add this description, I'll have to click through one by one to know which training this attachment is affiliated to. So it's very important to add the correct description in order to match it to the attendees that were added to this training. Now, in attachment notes, you can add a small description of what this is, if it's a presentation, if it's a Zoom chat log, if it's a training design, if it's a sign-in sheet, a physical sign-in sheet, you can add whatever notes you want. Here, I'm going to put that this is a Zoom chat log. And then I'm going to save. And now I can see that my training attachment was successfully added, as I can see it here at the end of this sheet. And if I click on it, of course, I can see it. And again, you do not have access to delete any of these attachments. So if you do find that you uploaded the incorrect document, please reach out to one of the ChildPlus administrators, and we will be more than happy to remove that for you. Okay, so that is how to add trainings, how to add attendees, how to add attachments. Again, making sure not to make changes to this detail page. Okay, and we are going to move on to the reports. So, of course, I'm going to go up to my tabs and I'm going to click on the reports option. And as you can see here, I already have my favorited reports. I have the training history report, the attendee report. These are probably going to be the most helpful for you when you're running reports from the PD module. So starting with the training history report 1316, this report will show you what trainings staff have attended. And you have various ways to filter here. We have the personnel filters and we have the other filters and options. And we have this little formatting section down here. So the personnel filters are all related to staff. and whatever has been entered into their Child Plus profile. So this includes the staff person's location, the staff person's primary program, their service area, all of that information, including the inactive and terminated personnel. In the other filters and options, we have the time frame option, optional data, which allows us to see attendee notes and to only show the most recent training. We also have training completions to be able to run reports of staff who have completed trainings, staff who are missing trainings, or both. And then we have the option to also filter by the Child Plus topic. We have the agency here, a service area, topic, format. However, this agency service area topic formatting should not be confused with the personnel filters. So even though we have a service area option here in personnel filters, this is regards to the staff person service area, not necessarily the training service area. So if we're hosting a health and safety training, that is a health service area training. However, it can be offered to staff of all service areas. Actually, all service area staff should receive health and safety training. So just be mindful of that whenever you're choosing your filters for your reports, that you don't want to have any conflict and then return a report with no data. Okay, and then in formatting, we also have the option to group our report by location or by topic, or not have anything grouped as well. And then you also have a page break, so that means that after every group, the next group will start on a new page instead of continuing on the same page. So for this report, we're going to look for the training that was hosted today. So I'm going to be looking at all of the trainings that took place on May 19th, 2025 on the ChildPlus Professional Development module, and I'm going to click View. And now I have created this report for the May 19th ChildPlus Professional Development module trainings. I can see here that Sherry attended, completed one training, and that is my report. Something to know about all of these reports is that if there is anything in blue, that is a link, and if you click it, it will open up and take you somewhere else. In this case, if you click on the actual training topic name, it'll take you to the training page where we see the details. If you want to add any additional attendees, if you're running your reports and you're like, oh, I actually skipped someone on accident, or somebody attended that training that I didn't add, you can just go in and click the add attendees and add them from there. Now, there is also a hyperlink to the attendees' name. So if I click on that, it'll actually show me a list of all of the trainings that the staff person has attended, as well as showing me the individual record for that training, that specific training. Okay, so here I can see more details about this training, when it took place, and I can also see a list of the trainings that were attended by that person. Going to the 1317 report, that is our attendee history report. Here we see that we have the same option of filters. We have our personnel filters and our other filter options. Again, being mindful that location for personnel filters is in regards of the location of the staff person, not the location of the training itself. We're going to try to search for the same training. So we're looking for the Child Plus P training that took place on May 19th, 2025. And we're going to say that we want to see the attendee notes, we want to see only completed trainings, and we want to see them for the Child Plus Professional Development module. We're going to click on View. And here you can see the slight difference of this 1317 attendee report. This is based on the actual staff person, and it'll give you a list of the trainings that they attend, whereas the 1317 is centered around the actual training and who went to this training. Another neat thing about the 1317 report is that this one actually sums up the total hours that were trained. So if you're looking for a report that'll give you the total amount of hours that a staff person completed training for, the 1317 is a great option for that. This is also a great report to run when you're doing, when you're seeing who is missing any training. So, for example, we have to complete our child abuse trainings annually, our health and safety trainings annually. And if you're just checking to see that everybody has received their training and it has been entered into the Child Plus module, this is also a great report to use for that by using the training completion status of missing trainings. That'll show you all of the staff that have not completed a training. In this example, I am actually not going to run this report because that report will probably load for a really long time since I am the only one that attended this specific training. But it will show you a report of everyone who is missing trainings and who have not completed that yet, those trainings yet. So again, here, anything that you see in blue, that is a hyperlink. If you click on the name, again, it'll open that staff person's training records. And if you click on the actual name of the training, it'll open up the training record for that individual. Again, this is a very individualized report. The attendee history report is all about the actual staff person, whereas the 1316 training history report is about the training and who has attended the training. All right, so there are also more reports for the professional development module. If we click here on favorites, you'll see that you have many topics here depending on your access type, your security access to Child Plus. But you should have access to the professional development reports. And if you click there, you'll see that we also have the individual training grid, which is very similar to the attendee history report. However, it is in grid format. And then we also have the training attendance log. And now to have a favorite report like I did, where whenever I open my reports, it'll show me my top favorite reports. All you have to do to favorite a report is put a little star next to it, and that'll make it come up as one of your favorite reports whenever you click on the report modules. So for the training attendance log, this essentially is a report that will create a worksheet for you or a sign-in sheet for you. So if you're hosting a training and you want to have a pre-made sign-in sheet, you can use this report to do that. So let's create one for, um, let's go to OTV. For the CASD administration, let's say that we're hosting a training here and we're going to have a sign-in sheet so that as staff are coming into the session, they are signing in. You can just select your location, hit on view. And as you can see, it creates a report where you enter the date, name, topic, hours, location, service area for your training, which are all of the same questions that are asked when you are entering a training. And then, as you can see, it also has a list of all of the staff and space next to it so that they can sign in and add their signature. Once your training is over, you can easily scan this and upload it to the attachment section of the training module. And then you have completed adding your training. To download this page and print it, you can click this button right here and select the PDF option. That'll create an attendance report, and you can print this out or share it. Additionally, you'll also have the option to download this in different formats. You also have the option to print directly from this page by clicking any of those two printer icons. You can make this full screen as well. If you want to do a search to make sure that someone is on this list or because you're looking for someone specifically, you can do that. And of course, you have options to zoom in and zoom out of this page if you would like. All right, so that has been the ChildPlus Professional Development module. Again, this module only exists online. There is no longer access to it from the desktop version. If you guys ever need any assistance with using this platform or with entering trainings, or you've entered a training and now you can't find it, whatever the case may be, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Sherry Esquivel. My information will be sent to you after this training, and I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their day. Thank you.